Hey there, welcome to Fluency Goals, and we have here today yet another episode of Learning English with Celebrities. I'm Mandeep, and today we are going to learn some natural expressions and phrases with a very popular Indian actress who is known for her grace, for her resilience, and she is none other than Samantha Ruth Prabhu. I'm sure you all are familiar and you admire her for her work not only in the movie film industry but also in the health wellness sector. So I'll be playing some video clips from her latest conversation interview, and I have handpicked some expressions here that I really like the way she has used these expressions in her conversations naturally. We'll learn the meaning of these expressions, how to use them in our everyday conversation, and we'll take some example sentences. So let's begin our learning, shall we?
What I thought was the worst phase of my life turned out to be the best phase of my life, because I realized that nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone.
She uses the expression here, nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. This means that nothing is permanent. Use this expression specially to talk about plans, some rules, some decisions where you want to convey that it is not permanent and there is room for change in it. Let's take an example. You want to tell your partner that the product launch date is flexible and it is not rigid. So how you can say it using this expression? Don't worry, the product launch date isn't set in stone. We can move it. Your friend is worried that the house rules are too strict. So how will you convey to her that these rules are flexible and they are not very rigid? So you can say something like, relax, the rules aren't set in stone. We can change them as we like. Okay, I'll give you another situation here. You're talking about your career choices here and you are having a healthy discussion with your friends. Frame a sentence around it using this expression set in stone and put it in the comment section. Let's see what you have to say about your career choices. Alright, moving on to the next one.
A few years ago, I would never have been able to dream to pivot in such a way, to become an entrepreneur, to increase the shelf life of an actor. To pivot in such a way, to pivot in such a way.
When you pivot something in such a way, you mean to say that you are changing direction or you are changing some plan or you are approaching something in such a way that it is very clever and very careful. See, sometimes we have to talk about some things, some topics that are very sensitive, and we have to put them in the right words. So it is very essential that we convey those thoughts in right words. So there you are trying to pivot those thoughts in such a manner that it doesn't offend anybody. You can also use it to talk about strategies in company meetings. Let's learn it more using an example sentence here. You want to describe how a company adapted to online sales strategy. So you are saying something like, the company pivoted in such a way that it made more money with the price hike. So the product might be put across to the consumer in such a manner, in a very careful, very clever manner, that even with the hike in the price, it was selling good. Okay, let's take another example. He pivoted the topic in such a way that nobody noticed the awkward moment. So some people are very clever, very witty in their conversation, that even if they rub someone in a wrong manner and even if they mention something that is offensive, they quickly change the topic, change the direction of the whole conversation, that nobody gets the chance to feel awkward. Now I'm waiting for your sentence. using this expression? Please put it in the comment box. Okay, moving on to the next one.
I don't know. There's absolutely nothing I have done in my life that is a patch on any of you, but I probably can just be here and try to keep it real and be as honest as I can. And if there is a patch on any of you, but there is a patch on any of you.
Okay, here she says, not a patch on any of you. So, what does this mean exactly? When you say you're not a patch on someone or something, you mean to say that you are not as good as somebody or something, or you are rather worse. That means you are trying to say that you are not better than anybody else. So, I'm not a patch on any of you means I'm not better than any of you. You are comparing. Here, Samantha is comparing herself to all the audience, that she is as much equal to the audience, and she considers she might be even worse than the audience. So, let's say you decide to explore the new restaurant in the town and that is much hyped about, and when you go there, you realize that it is not a patch on the older restaurant that you used to go. So you feel that the older one was better than this new one. So you'll say something like, this new restaurant is not a patch on the old one we loved. Let's take another example. So many a times the sequels of movies are released, and then when you watch the sequel, you feel that the first one was much better. So you can say something like, the sequel of the movie is not a patch on the first film. Moving on to the next one.
Something about stardom and fame and the recognition can be so heady, and you can, for a brief moment, think that it's all you. But it's not true. It can be so heady, and you can be so heady, and you can.
Something can be so heady. Something can be so heady. When you say that something is heady, you mean to say that something is very powerful, very exciting, and it is so overwhelming that it affects your emotions. So it is best to use this expression when you are talking about strong love, emotions, feelings. Let's take an example sentence. So Diwali is just around the corner. So you can say something like, there's a heady excitement in the air during Diwali. So everyone is in the mood of celebrations, right? So there is a lot of excitement and the emotions are high, and it feels like those feelings are in the air and everybody is catching them. Okay, let's take one more example. Falling in love for the first time can be a heady experience. Don't you agree? So I'm waiting for you to use this expression in your own sentence. Okay, moving on to the next one.
Oh, well, I was, like all movie stars, we really think that we're going to keep doing this till the end of time, and we're always going to be able to do it. And that idea came to like a grinding halt for me in 2023 when I was diagnosed with myositis. It's an autoimmune condition, and idea came to like a grinding halt for me in 2023. Idea came to like a grinding halt for me in 2023.
Came to a grinding halt. Came to a grinding halt. Halt means when something just stops completely. Something stops moving. So when something suddenly or completely stops, then you can say that that thing came to a grinding halt. So you can use this expression to talk about traffic, to talk about projects, or to talk about some progress in some work. Let's take an example. The traffic came to a grinding halt after the accident. Now, when I think about careers coming to a grinding halt, it reminds me a yesteryear actor who had a controversy and his career came to a grinding halt. Can you put out in the comment section which actor you can think about? So his career came to a grinding halt after the controversy. Our project came to a grinding halt due to the budget cuts. So that was all about today's session. I hope that you liked it, and I hope to see you again with another lesson, another video lesson. Till the next time, happy learning.